Hello there, this is DBT and these Art of Runes. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8. And today, I'm gonna be testing out the car that you see on the screen right now. It's one of the newest Lambos added in the game, and one of the newest ones in my collection as well, the Lamborghini Temerario. And I wanna test it out. I haven't upgraded it, I haven't driven it once. So today, we're gonna experience that. But before I get into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. This allows the channel to continue to be discovered, it keeps me going, and it allows me to continue making this content for you. So, as I always say, if you want to see some more Asphalt 8 right here, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribing. And if you do find that hype button, that I still don't know how it works, press it, hype the video, why not? But alright, now before I actually get into the topic of this car, I want to quickly talk about the sales that are available in the game right at this moment. So let me switch to my other account so that we can see them. Now, for the record, I restarted the game a bunch of times to make sure that it would flush out all their sales, because this is my beginner account where I don't have anything. And over here sometimes, because I open this like every other week or so, sometimes it still has outdated information. But no, the sales that I'm seeing here seem to be still active. No matter how many times I restart the game, they show still. So anyway, I'm not gonna go through every single car. I just want to show you what is available at the moment, or at least what it shows on my side. And this one, I would think it's definitely worth buying because it's a very good car of this bracket. And it's a really cool looking one, so hey, why not? Moving on, again, I'm not gonna comment on every single one of these cars. Really, I'm more interested on specific cars. For example, in the 1680 bracket, this used to be a long time ago one of the kings of that bracket, a long time ago, way before the Spam Lee. But it's still a pretty decent car, good acceleration, so that's something to consider. Zenvo TSRS, not a necessarily absolutely amazing car in terms of performance, but man, just look at that thing. How could you not? Lovely looking stuff. 918 Spider, interesting, because this car is kind of bugged on the sound, but regardless, I don't believe this is a very good car, though it is a very iconic car when it comes to Porsche, so well, there's an opportunity to get it for tokens if you want it. Now, the price is actually not that bad, 4,500 tokens, while the Zonda R 5,000, I don't know, for the Tronca. Oh, there it is, the Dodge Dart X Edition. This is one of the cars that is available this week. You know that every Friday it puts other cars on sale. This is one of them. And all right, once again, not a particularly amazing car when it comes to the performance, but come on, it is the special edition of the king of the game. So why not? And look at that ginormous wing. It looks super fun when you are in Class A races with a lot of super and hypercars that are really low to the ground, and then you have this big chunky thing racing along them. It's kind of funny. But yeah, not an amazing car, but hey, it's one for the collection that I think might be worth it. And it has this cool animated decal, so there's that. But yeah, not great performance. Then this is the Class S car available this week, the Ferrari 488 Pista, which is a pretty mid car in Class S. In fact, I already did a pro test of this car last year. I'll put the link in the top right if you want to watch that. But the short of it is, it's an okay car. You know, it's not great, it's not terrible, it's just there. But yeah, it's available for 7,000 tokens. Honestly, I don't know that I would advise you to go for this car. I would probably save my tokens to see if something a little bit better comes up. Save maybe another 2,000 for when an 1861 car shows up. But hey, there it is. And there's also the Esparcal, but I believe that was from the sale of last week, so I do not understand. By the way, notice oh no, wait, the price is the same. I thought it was different. Oh no, it makes sense because it's the same rank. Never mind. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with this car. I do know that apparently it has some either great recovery or acceleration. I don't remember. But it is incredibly unstable. It loves to climb walls, so oof. And yeah, that's it for the sales. So yeah, I just wanted real quick to talk about these cars, specifically because again, it's a plug to my video on the 488 Pista. And on the multiplayer shop, we have, I mean, granted, this was since last Monday, but yeah, there is a Countach LPI available for 40,000 of this currency. So that's a pretty fun car, and it's a beautiful Lambo, so hey, keep that in mind. Speaking of Lambos, let's talk about my Temerario. Now, I made a video some days ago precisely showing how I spent a bunch of my vouchers, most of my vouchers, into purchasing some vehicles that were Treasure Rush cars and not been available for a while, and I spent the vouchers on getting them, amongst them the Temerario. Now, you know that whenever I get a new car, I like squeezing it for all it's worth and doing a bunch of videos with MP tunes and all of that, but honestly, I don't feel like doing that with the Temerario because, well, I do have some thoughts when it comes to it, but we'll get to talk about these thoughts with the design as I do the races. For now, what I want to do is basically just upgrade it, and well, you know, I have a lot of these ultimate upgrades nowadays and I never use them, so I think it's the time. All right, let's do it. Sure. And with that, we have a Pro Temerario. Let's go. Yeah, that's right. I skipped the whole thing of doing MP tunes with this thing because I don't really want to do it with this particular car. I just want to have it a pro and drive it in multiplayer, and so I will. But this is not going to be a protest. I'm not going to do classic. Instead, I'm going to do master season because over here I need to rank up a little bit, so might as well. And if you're curious for the stats of this car with the tuning kit, there it is. As I always say, this doesn't tell us a whole lot of anything, so let's just get into the races. Now, like I said, this is not really a protest because normally I only do those in classic season because that's the most competitive multiplayer series. And also because over here I'm not going to be doing drift tests and acceleration tests and all of that. Instead, I want to get a bit of an impression of the car as I drive it, you know? My first impressions driving this thing. And as we knew from the free try that we got when the Treasure Rush for this car released, it sounds like the McLaren V8. Yep, there it is. Now, oh man, I am conflicted about this because I've explained this at some point in the past, but I guess it's worth going over again. This engine sound is one. Wow, the drift is terrible. Holy mother of, oh my. I'm fine. I'm fine. No, this is great. Normal stuff. One thing at a time. That drift was absolutely hilariously bad. This engine sound I did not like for a long time. I don't think it sounds terrible, but it never sounded super interesting to me. And then I heard the same engine sound in Asphalt 7, where it's at proper volume, and I'm like, man, this thing sounds amazing. And then I realized that the problem in Asphalt 8 is that it's too quiet. This engine sound is too quiet compared to all the other engine sounds. So it doesn't quite have the same, you know, shine to it in a way. All right, second place. Okay. My very first impression of the car is absolutely terrible drift. Jesus. All right, I got defeated by a bolide, a normal bolide, which I appreciate, rather than those, Sportline bolides. Okay, now I am in my quote-unquote turf, so maybe over here I can get a decent result, except that this car doesn't drift. Oh my god, I'm so impressed. All right. Jesus, and now I'm legit tempted to do a drift test, just because I need to see how bad this is, but anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, the engine sound, so if this sounded louder, man, I would enjoy this a lot more. Now, if you're wondering, but why did GameLoft give a V8 to a Lambo? Oh my god, that is so wrong. No, that is actually correct. Because I love this song. This is the first small bull Lambo that doesn't have a V10. I mean, of the newer generation. You know that there was the Gallardo with a V10, then there was the, oh my god. Then there was the Huracan with a V10. Now this one, which is the next small bull, the little bull, has a V8. And it's because this car IRL ended up becoming a hybrid, much like the Revuelto. You know, because of emissions and all of that. They made it into a hybrid, and they also made it twin turbo. So it is a V8, but it does produce about 1,000 horsepower from the turbos. So yes, there's that. That is actually the first, as far as I know, as far as I remember, the first full production. Okay, hold on. That's gonna be a beautiful. It's the first production Lambo that they added turbos to, because Lambo has always been about NA, natural aspiration. Natural, is that what it's called? I think so. But no, in this one, you know, in order to keep the horsepower but reduce the emissions and all of that, they went for the V10. V8, not V10. Jesus Christ, you get your facts in order. But okay, I gotta talk about the car itself, the design of the car, because man, Jesus Christ. Now, in the past, I've talked about how when it comes to the little bulls, in case you don't know, by the way, there's the big bulls and the little bulls. The big bulls are the V12s of Lamborghini. The little bulls have been, like I said, the V10s, and in this case, the V8 as well. The little bulls were the Gallardo, the Huracan, and now the Temerario. The big bulls have been, you know, from the supercar era, the Miura, the Countach, the Diablo, the Murcielago, the Aventador, and the Revuelto. Those are the big bulls. So anyway, when it comes to the small bulls, I've said before that my favorite has been the Gallardo. Now, that is not to say that I dislike the Huracan. I think it's a pretty cool looking car, but I really like, for some reason, the Gallardo. There's something to it being old, kind of classic. The fact that I'm an old man as well, I don't know, that probably affects me too in terms of nostalgia and all of that. But yeah, from those two, I prefer the Gallardo. But that is not saying that I don't like the Huracan. But now that the Temerario is over here, I have to say it. I like more the Huracan than this car. I'm sorry, it is the truth. I don't love the design of this car. There's some things that I don't love about it. And man, you know, I gotta say, I feel like Lamborghini did, what is it? Ooh, look at that, I just ranked up. Very nice. They kind of regressed a little bit in terms of making their designs cool. Meaning this is less cool? I don't know. Let's for a second have a look at the Huracan. This is the base Huracan, not any special edition with wings or anything. No, this is base Huracan. And when I look at it, yeah, it is a compact car. It's not as long as Aventador, and that is by design. It's a smaller car. But just look at it. It looks pretty nice. Obviously, it keeps the Lamborghini wedge, which is nice, obviously. But then you see the headlights. For example, you see the Y shapes over here. You know that Lamborghini is a lot about Y shapes. So it's like double Y in each one of these headlight encasing, plus the actual headlights, because these are the running lights. Again, to be specific, these lines over here, these are the running lights. These are the actual headlights. So the running lights always have this type of Y shape. It's something that you can also see a lot in Lamborghini's taillights as well. You can see the Y shape. Now it's a little bit, okay, you see it better over here, right? It's kind of like a Y shape. So yeah, that is very Lamborghini. And the overall shape of it, it is indeed kind of sharp, kind of roundy with the wedge and all of that. It has some nice lines and all of that. It may not be incredibly super busy in terms of looks, but I think it looks pretty. It looks, well, pretty, very pretty, but it also looks aggressive. It looks, I think it's a fantastic mix of the design to still look extreme, but at the same time look somewhat classy. Does that make sense? I don't know. Even when you look at the engine cover and all that, I think this looks pretty nice, right? But now, when I look at the Temerario, we have a car that, in my opinion, it's both a bit much, not much enough. I know that makes no sense. But when I look at this car, I don't know. First, when I'm looking at it from the front, I think more of Audi than I think of Lamborghini. Which, to be fair, they're kind of the same brand at this point, you know. Or technically Lamborghini is owned by Audi, but whatever. This design is a little bit too sober. Yeah, it has a lot of lines. It has a lot more lines than the Huracan, right? But at the same time, they are not as interesting in my opinion. Obviously, this looks also cooler because it has the red lines, but that is because this is the Allegerita package of the car, where it has that. I think in this game it does have it all around. Oh, interesting. In Asphalt Legends Unite, if you change the color, it removes all of these lines, but whatever, let's keep it on green just because that's how we were looking at it. Normally, in the base version of the car, you wouldn't have these red lines. The roof and all of this would not be black, it all would be green, and the body would be ever so slightly different, but very slight. But yeah, as I was saying, overall, I just don't love the design of this car. That's why I made so much emphasis on the headlight versus the running lights, daylight running lights, day running lights, there you go. These are the day running lights. Gone are the Y shapes, and now we have the hexagon. Now, to be fair, in the design of Lamborghini, the hexagons have always been a thing, but they absolutely prioritize putting the hexagon here, and then they put the headlights over here. I don't know. I don't like it. Where is the Y-shaped DNA in this car? I don't see it. I really don't see it. Well, I guess you could argue on the wheels. There's a bunch of Ys, I suppose, but even then. Let's have a look at the back. Once again, no Y shapes in the lights. Now the back is very busy. You can see, well, because of the glare on the screen, you can see it very well. But this whole section is very busy. It has a lot of crevices and a lot of things and whatnot. But I don't know. That's what I was saying. It has a lot more lines. It is a lot more busy than the Huracan, and yet to me it looks simpler and more boring. Am I alone on this? Oh God. Now, here's something that is worth mentioning. It is kind of natural, at least when it comes to Lamborghini, for each new version of a car, or rather each new platform, to be more liney-y than the previous one. You know what I mean? What I was saying, that it has a lot more lines. So when you look at the Murcielago versus the Aventador, yeah, the Aventador looks a lot more busy than the Murcielago, and I still love the look of the Aventador. Same thing with the Temerario, no, excuse me, with the Revuelto. Oh, hold on, drift. Oh boy, this is so wide, Jesus. I mean, for a Class S car of this rank, that's so stupidly wide. Anyway, Yeah, when you look at the Revuelto, it's also a lot more busy when it comes to lines compared to the Aventador. But I still like it because it still looks quite aggressive. Yeah, it is different, obviously. It's a different car, but it still looks pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, when it comes to the Temerario, I don't know. I don't vibe with it very much. And I'm not saying that this is an ugly car, by the way. I'm not saying, oh my God, this car is absolutely terrible. Oh, the design sucks. Or no, no, no. I think it's still a good looking car. It's just that to me, it doesn't quite feel like what I would expect it to look like, you know? Does that make sense? I don't know, but in my head, the way to describe it is, it looks a little bit too sanitized. In the sense that it looks like the businessman Lambo. Does that make sense? In general, Lamborghini, it has been about having absolutely ridiculous looking cars. That is kind of they may not be the best performers out there in the supercar market or anything, but they sure are very, very crazy when it comes to the looks and like, oh yeah, look at this crazy thing and all of that, right? And I think, and this is the conspiracy theory that I have, I think this was on purpose to make this car not look as nearly as attractive as the Revuelto. And by attractive, I just mean the crazy look. I feel like this is the car. Oh man, I missed almost all of the nitro bubbles there. This is the car for people to be like, oh, I have a Lambo, but it looks kind of fancy, you know? Whilst the Revuelto is the, ooh, I have a Lambo, but it looks absolutely crazy. And at the same time, maybe it's the way that if you like Lamborghini, probably you like Lamborghini because of the crazy looking cars, right? And then there is this, which is the quote unquote cheap Lambo compared to the Revuelto. That's gonna be a this is the cheap Lambo, and it doesn't look as crazy. If you want the real crazy looks, you gotta pay the premium and actually get the Revuelto, right? Okay. I think I figured out how to describe this situation comparing the Huracan versus this. I feel that the Huracan, again, talking about the base version of the Huracan, it looks nice. But when you compare this, the Temerario against the Huracan, it looks busier, but more boring, right? Yeah, does that make sense? I think it does. Yeah, it has a lot more lines. It looks to have a lot more design to it, and yet somehow it looks more boring. That's kind of how it looks to me. I don't know. What can I tell you? I don't really love this car when it comes to the looks, and when it comes to this game, man. At the very least, I don't know. It seems that the acceleration is fine. It seems like the nitro is fine, but that drift is absolutely hilariously bad. So I don't know. That would be interesting. But in a way, that's kind of good for my purposes, because that means that this is not a car that will ever be spammed because it's not very good, which allows me to drive it without any sort of remorse. You know that I'm the type of player who doesn't like driving spam cars. So this will 100% never be spammed, so I can drive it whenever I want and not feel like, oh my God, I'm driving a spam car. Oh, Jesus. Which is why I almost never drive my Aventador, because sadly, it is a very strong car in Class B. Oh God! A very strong car in Class B, and that means it's a spam, and I feel kind of dirty using it. But not this one, and what this one is gonna give me, it's a... But there you have it. It may not look great, but hey, at least I got a W. Oh, look at that, beating even Sportline Huayra. It's kind of nice. Yep, defeated, actually, not only a Sportline, but I also beat a Hennessy Venom. Woohoo, let's go. I was so ready to finish the video right then and there, because, you know, it's gonna be approximately the length of my normal videos, but then I realized that I'm actually getting closer to getting to Elite. So I think it would be better if I get to Elite in this video, and that way it has a specific purpose of me driving this car and all that. Because yes, I know it's not super informative, but hey, I hope at least it's somewhat entertaining. DBT ranting about the design of a Lambo that probably not a lot of people care, and not a lot of people are gonna own in this game for a long time. Now that's a thing. I explained this in the video that I did of me collecting these Lambos, this and the Authentica, but I really was like, man, this is gonna take me like a full year before I can get this car, because just the Temerario alone, no, not Temerario, excuse me, the Revuelto took, what was it, like 6 months for me to actually acquire it. Oh, excuse me. From the moment that it was added in the game, which was in, what, November 2024? No, December 2024. till it took me like June or July 2025. That's another first place. Man, look at me go. And that is kind of surprising because I normally tend to do really bad over here in Alps. But hey, maybe this car doesn't have drift, but it has something else. I don't know. And again, it might not be my favorite Lambo by any means, but it doesn't mean that I don't want it in my collection. So I was definitely looking forward to acquiring it at some point, especially because with this and the other one, I completed my Lambo collection, so that's pretty dope. Expect a showcase video soon. Once again, showing all of the Lambos because of course. But yes, all right, let's get over here and let's see if we can rank up. Oh, look at that. That's an Aventador. Is that an Aventador? The green one? I think it is. Oh my God, I just unallowed the Aventador. Ah, man. It's fine, it's fine. Listen, was not on purpose. I was just trying to get close to you. No, I wasn't even trying to get close to him. I was just wondering what it was, and then we just collided. I'm not gonna say that he shot towards me or that I went towards him. We just happened to have an unfortunate moment of trading paint. Oh, look at that. That's good. A Cyan. Very beautiful car in brown, which is rare. Not a lot of people drive it in brown, but hey, it's mine. But oh, hold up. I took the lead once again. Come on, keep it together, DBT. Yeah, so like I said, this is not a protest of the car, so this is not like, oh, I'm gonna tell you about the performance of the car and the acceleration and the nitro and all of that. There's really, oh god. Because really haven't had much time to process it other than these races that you have seen so far, but oh my god, this is gonna be yet another first place, Look at me go. Beautiful. Wait. Oh, why is my game freezing so much? All dirty. Yeah, not super good looking there, but okay. Whoa! Let's go! I just ranked up. Oh, yeah. Give me that. I want to see it. And just like that, we have made it. Into a lead. Let's go, baby! Yep. Lamborghini Temerario was able to get me. We were what in the gold league, and we just got into legend. Did I say legend? Elite. My bad. Okay, whatever. It's fine. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, there you have it. Oh, look at that. Even comparing the design, look at how cool this looks, how boring this looks. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you see that hype button, go ahead and press it as well. And if you would like to support me directly, consider joining the membership for access to exclusive videos. But that's all. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.